Hi everybody, welcome to this channel. I'm Kappa, owner and founder of Diamante Boards. We're here in my shaping room. If you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe and leave a like. I wanted you guys to come with me in the making of a board that is going to be sent in America for a friend of mine. This board in particular is going to be the Owl. So the Owl is an all-around board and it's perfect for any type of waves, from the smaller waves to the bigger waves. So first of all, I'm not a pro. I started shaping in 2022 after I had an injury on my knee. I was windsurfing, I did a back loop, I didn't land the back loop, and I almost tore my ACLs. After that, I wanted to So this injury led me to think about what I wanted to do. During the lockdown, I was watching a lot of videos on YouTube of these guys shaping, glassing the boards, and I always wanted to understand how it was made. I started to think, let's do one. So I started with my own board. It was shitty. Then I shaped a board from a friend. And then one day I saw that in Tuscany there is this cove, which is called Surf Cove. They're making a workshop where you can understand and learn how to shape a board and glass a board. I bought this book here. It's a shaping guide. It has everything you have to know to start and shape your own board. So I always saw that my boards were like good, but not good enough. So I said, okay, let's go to Tuscany and understand how to make a board. So I'm here 3 years later with my first order from America. So as I said before, I'm not a pro. I just started. So if there are some shapers that are watching this video, please let me know in the comments where I'm doing wrong and how to get better at this job. So first of all, we need a blank. This is a blank. This is going to be our board after working on it. So this board is going to be a 5/8. So first of all, we need to draw our outline. And to draw our outlines, we need a template. So this is a spin template. So it works like this. You go on the top of the board, you draw the lines, then you flip it, and then you have the rest of the board. And then you do this on one side and on the other side. So to not make any mistakes, what I'm doing is taking, how'd you call this? A pencil? No, it's not a pencil. It's a Sharpie. And I'm writing the sizes of the board here so I don't make any mistakes. So it's going to be a 5/8 by 18.8 inches by 2.3 in thickness. This is 6'2". We said we need a 5/8. So to measure the length of the board, we need this. I think that we can cut the blank like here, for example. So I think this is a good rocker for this board. I'm on the nose of the board and I'm making a line to understand where I need to cut from the nose part. And then I go back to the tail of the board and we do the same thing here. So now that we did this, we take our spin template and then we put it here and we are going to draw our lines right on the corner of the spin template. Yeah, like that. And then we flip it. We go here on the same part. We are drawing also the back of this. Okay, and then we do the same thing on the other side. Okay guys, so now we can start working on the board. So we need a saw. It's important to have the arm at 90 degrees. If we cut not at 90 degrees, we are going to be working more later on when we're doing the rails. Okay. Once we did this, we have to cut the outline of the board. So we're cutting, as before, at 90 degrees. So we're cutting from the nose to the tail right now. And then we do the other side. We have our board. This is the outline of the board. It's not perfect, but it's a good starting point. We need to arrive at 2.3 inches. And we are at 2 3/4, which means it's 6.99 centimeters. I think it's okay even if I cut like 10 times and then we can check later on. So guys, as you can see, we did the bottom of the board. So we are at 2.5 inches, which is really close to our goal point, which is 2.3. So now what we have to do is we can turn the board upside down and we can continue on the deck of the board. So we are perfect. Our board is ready to be shaped. Let's turn off the lights. By turning off this big lamp here, we can use these side lights to understand where we did something wrong. It's actually pretty fine. The thing that we have to do right now is to cut the board like this in one side, and then after we did everything, we go on the other side and we do on the opposite side. Now we have to do the same thing here. As you can see, the board is basically done. So let's talk about rails. So if we did everything correctly, we will have a 90 degrees angle here and the 90 degrees angle here. This is going to get us to a point where we just need to cut and we don't need to correct anything. We will cut all this part. We will use this tool right here. We're using the 90 degrees angle from the bottom and we're drawing this line from the tail to the nose. So guys, as you can see, this is the difference between cut rail and non-cut rail. We will come back here tomorrow and we will continue tomorrow and finish all the rails. Okay guys, welcome back. It's a new day. We're back at it. Once we arrived at this point, as you can see, the shadow on the side here, it's okay. What I usually do is go by hand and do the tail part and the nose part. We created a perfect line. You can see the difference from one side to the other side. This part right here, it goes down. So we created this angle here and this angle here. And we have to do the same thing here. We created the same angle also on this side. Now what we have to do is to take this and cut this side right here. We created our lines. We have one line here and we have the other one down there. So now we will fade this curve right here. Before doing everything else, we have to cut the tail of the board. So we're gonna need the help of a fin. With the fin, we will draw our swallowtail. So we will cut this part right here and we will have our swallowtail. Okay guys, so we have our swallowtail as you can see. So following these lines that we just created, we will go flat on these angles all the way tail to nose, nose to tail until it's rounded. We created our rounded rail right here. We will do the same thing on this side and then we can start doing the rails on this one. So at this point, we're almost done. Before doing this part, I like to do the tuck of the board. The tuck is basically the same thing that we did on the deck, but on the bottom. And I use this tool right here. This tool is already at 30 degrees, so what we will need to do is to put the tool like this and move tail to nose, nose to tail, and slowly it will create the tuck. So before doing our tuck, we need to draw some lines on the tail of the board that are going to be our guides for the fin. We just need to understand where our front fins go. So our front fins are going to be around 27 point something centimeters, like that. So we know our limit. So with this tool right here, we don't want to go back from this line to the tail. And we're done. As we did for the deck, right here, we will go at 90 degrees on top of this angle. So we will create 2 angles more, and then we will smooth it out. So guys, that's it basically. We did our rails. So this is going to smooth out all the rail. 120 grit. We made our board. To do our rails here, we need to cut this part as before, and then we smooth out everything as we did on the rails right here. That's it guys, and the board is basically done. Last step, concaves. What we need to do is to create a concave in the middle of the board and a double concave here in the fin area. How concaves work? The flatter the board is, the faster the board is. A concave essentially creates a little hole where the water can flow inside. So essentially the water goes from here, it goes in the middle in the concave here, which make the board stick to the water, and then it flows back into the fins. That's why we didn't do a tuck also here, because we want the water to go out as fast as possible. Guys, this is the board. It's finished. It's ready to be glassed. It came out really good. It looks so cool, so sexy. The board is ready to be glassed. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Tell me if you like this kind of videos, and tell me if you want more videos like this. I will see you in the next video. Bye!